Hi everyone, this is the final project for international tourism and culture. To start with, I want to introduce myself. My name, where I'm from, and my major. My name is Seung-Oh, and I also go by Jay. I am from the city of Incheon in South Korea. I major in Management Information System. For my prior international travel experiences, I went to United States of America for 6 years. I stayed in Dallas, Texas for 2 years, and I moved to St. Paul, Minneapolis, where I graduated my high school. There were a lot of foreign students from all over the country, including Korean students. I went to annual festival, went to downtown Minneapolis, and went to a school football game, which was very memorable. What motivates me to attend this class? Well, I graduated my junior high and high school in the States, and came back to South Korea in the year of 2014. Since then, I did not use English as much as I did before, and I wanted to keep up with my English. And I wanted to know about people with their travel experiences. For the tourism product, I've chose Osaka, Japan. For accessibility, when me and my friends arrived in the airport, there was an express train going straight to the downtown of Osaka. Since there were a lot of train stations between downtown and the airport, if we took a normal train, it takes more than an hour, but the express train got us to move quickly. And for the attractions, since Osaka is well known for trip, there were many attractions in Osaka. When we went to a highest building in Osaka, where I was able to see the whole view of the city. I went to Universal Studio and enjoyed some rides. And for the accommodations, mostly I stayed in regular hotel, but on the last day, me and my friends got a chance to sleep at the Cube Hotel, where they called it Cube Hotel, where each person get to sleep in their own cube. It was pretty interesting that they also had a hot spring with a one-night package, so we were able to enjoy the spa and the Cube Hotel at the same time. For the family travel, me and my family went to Taiwan. We went to Taiwan to celebrate my grandmother's birthday. The picture on the right is the whole map of Taiwan. It's a pretty small country, but it had a lot of travel attractions. On the first night, we went to a chili night market. It was filled with the Taiwanese food, but it was not for me. The Taiwanese food had a lot of spice in it, so it was just not for me, but my parents and grandparents really loved it, so it was pretty good. On the next day, we went to Hilo Geo Park. It was really famous among the travelers. It had a lot of rocks, and the special one on the middle, which is called the Queen's Head Rock. It looks like the head of the queen, and there were a lot of travelers around it, so we had to wait for our turn to take a picture. On the last day, we went to a National Palace Museum. The museum was filled with Chinese ancient relics. There were a lot of it, and the place was huge, so we didn't get a chance to look around the whole place. Last but not least, we went to have our foot massage in Taiwan. It was really painful, but they said it was good for our health, so we had to have a little bit of patience. For the travel preferences, what kind of tourist am I? I personally think I am a psychocentric tourist. I usually want to visit the famous places of the area where I can be safe. Like I went to Universal Studio in Osaka, Japan. There were a lot of travelers and I felt safe. What do I enjoy doing when I travel? When I travel abroad, I always try to enjoy their food culture. For Taiwan, Japan, I try to eat their food, but for me, Japanese food were very, very delicious. So when I travel, I was looking for the good places to eat. Push and pull factors in traveling. For the push factors, when me and my friends went to Osaka, Japan, all three of us were planning to go to military for 2 years, and when we're in military, we're not allowed to have a trip abroad. We can't go outside of South Korea, so we wanted to have a memorable moment, so it pushed us to go to Japan. What pulled us, the pull factors in traveling abroad, some famous places pulled me and my friends to Japan. As you can see from the picture, there were a lot of famous places that we can go, and we took a picture of it. It was really fun. A responsible tourist. As a responsible tourist, what are some of the things that you do when you travel? As a responsible tourist, I usually try to be respectful to the local people and their culture. Try not to damage the cultural heritage and leave no trash behind. For example, what I did as a responsible tourist is when I went to the United States. When I got there, I learned about their tip culture, where they treat the employers with a small amount of money after having a meal in the restaurants. In the end of the travel, as a foreign traveler, I tried to buy the locally made souvenirs and gifts for my friends and family back home. In this way, I could help the local economy. The 3 essentials in tourism. The 3 essential things that I have learned is, the first one is, when I think about tourism, first thing comes to my mind is the tourist itself, because it plays a main role in the tour system. Second, how they decide where to go. What makes them to travel. It comes to their motivations, and how long they are going to stay is pretty important. Last, how tourism affects the economy. not only developed country, but especially developing countries can get a chance to create more jobs and make revenue out of the tourism. And they want to have the higher GDP. That's it. Thank you for listening.